How you doing, YouTube? Matt, that's the beer reviews, back with yet another review. Big old triple IPA time in the form of Equilibrium Brewing's straight out of the laboratory. Triple IPA, 10.2% alcohol by volume. And that be that on a can. Other than the date, and it was, let's see, it was canned yesterday, so 1 day old. Yeah, Equilibrium. It's been a while since I've been up there, just popped up there today. They had a dual can release, this and another one, which I'll probably post the same time I put this review up. And, yeah, I'm not the biggest triple IPA guy. I didn't necessarily go up there for the release. I just wanted to go hang out. It's been a while since I've been up there. I had a day to a couple of hours to kill, and they're not too far away from me. So I popped up to old Middletown. They dropped this sucker. What else does it say on there? I already told you. Not much else. Done and done. Label-wise, it's cool. I kind of like it. It's a little nerdy. You know, you get a nice little microscope. Sometimes it's hard. Words are hard. You know, little bubbles and bits and pieces. I kind of like it. Their new style cans are a little bit kind of, like, I think I called it geometric screensaver as far as the vibe on it. This one's a little bit more kind of, there's something simple about it. I dig it. So there we go. Let's see what the sucker has. Triple IPA is not usually my bag. But apparently this one has been a labor of love for them over there. Actually, it was funny. I was at the release, and one of the head honcho. I say that with tongue-in-cheek. You know, there's multiple owners to there. There's Ricardo and a kind of semi-silent partner. But Pete is the guy I deal with the most, and he's the one who kind of formulates most of the beers. He saw that I was at the release. There was a picture post, and he actually texted me. He's like, "Did you drink it yet?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna drink it when I get home." He's like, "There's all kinds of formulation and math in this one." So, yeah, I can't wait to taste that formulation and science and math. Technology is what he said. There's a lot of technology in here. I've never had technology as a flavor point in a beer before, so I'm kind of excited to see what's what. You know, it looks like a big, huge, hazy IPA. Pinky finger, infinite creaminess, just off-white head, super tight compact bubbles, and rich, dense orange cordial. So, yeah, definitely looks the part of double IPA. Triple IPA. Nah. Let's get a nose. Yeah, it's just rich citrus, a little bit of slight fusel alcohol to it, 10 and change, not a big deal, but there's a rich citrus to it, almost like Sunny D level stuff, but there's almost like a slight touch of berry to it too. Yeah, and then it comes off very Sunny D, like that's your bumped up sugars, your higher ABVs. There's not much as far as like rich bittering to it. Just a soft, very soft, generic bittering on the very edge of it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a bittering beer at all. But that's pretty much it. Just sweet citrus. Very in the Sunny D, almost confectionery style. Like it's not lactose, but it's kind of sort of giving you drips and drabs of lactosey vibes, but not getting nearly as sweet as that. Done and done. Let's dive in. Cheers. Okay. Wow. I did not expect that. That's interesting. What is that? Yeah. There's a big sweetness to it, but it's not cloying. It's it's like, okay, I'm drinking a 10% IPA. It's one of those, let's fucking kick the shit out of the bitterness and drop it out as much as I can possibly drop it out. Because while there is a soft perceptual bitterness, just around the edges, very generic, very minimal. It's all about the sweetness here because it comes off really creamy, almost like a nitrogenized kind of beer. That's the kind of way it comes off, kind of mouthfeel-wise. Super creamy. It definitely has that lactose vibe to it. I'm assuming maybe from a ton of oats or something like that, but it's not like vanilla sweet lactose-wise. It has that kind of added additional sweetness, but it's not coming off like super sweet. It's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird kind of juxtaposition on it in that it's really sweet, but it's not overly sweet. It's acceptable sweetness. But the thing that I'm really struggling with is there's a fruited component to it. I'm really having a hard time kind of policing. It's almost like super duper, like the green portion of the show, since the bitterness has been dropped out absolutely 100%, almost 100%, I should say 100%, dropped out so completely, but what's been left behind is this super green, fresh cut grass, okay? Combined with this sweet berry component. I keep going back to berries. But like super sweet, not tart kind of berryness. You're getting that bright, vibrant, not over-ripened, not under-ripened berryness with this green grass that has lost all its acidity and astringency and is left behind almost like when you blanch a veggie and kind of knock out all that kind of green vegetal portion of the show, and you're left behind with that more kind of it's a bad analogy, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say when I mention it, is that you're dropping out all the kind of vegetal green bittering stocky portion of the show, but you're left with this big vibrant grassy thing that has none of that astringent acid and none of that kind of bitteringness that would make you think it's grass, if that makes any sense. I usually want to say kind of eucalyptus like. It's a bad way to kind of phrase it because it's not eucalyptus, but the way eucalyptus comes off as sweet and minty and not that green plant-like structure, it kind of makes sense in my brain. So it's not like eucalyptus, but that's the way those grassy vibes, that green vibes is coming off. So again, I'm going to reiterate this, going to be regurgitating the same shit over, but just think about taking all that green you get in the big ranky, huge, big green beer, but stripping all that bittering and astringency out of it, but at the same time, you're still retaining that kind of bright greenness that comes off as in the slightly eucalyptusy, minty kind of portion, but not minty, grassy. I just said that over and over again. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. I don't taste any technology, but I do taste uniqueness. I do taste something I haven't really tasted before. I've had that greenness before, that grassy greenness with a relatively low bittering. Cold Creek Brewing up in, I think they're in Massachusetts or Vermont. I think it's Mass or Connecticut. Take your pick. The one beer I reviewed from them gave me similar kind of notes, but it did have that bittering component to this one. This one's stripped completely. So while I have had that before, I'm not really getting it in the same way I am with this beer. It's a unique take on that, and that in and of itself is fun. And fun is pretty much the name of the game when it comes to beer. If you're not having fun, why fucking do it? So yeah, and it's simple. It's that stripped out bitter and green component, grassy, fresh cut grassy component. I want to go there as opposed to saying green, with that big melon sweetened, almost confectionery without being lactose laden kind of beer, and that creaminess, that softness, that kind of nitrogenized kind of mouthfeel. It's unique. It's probably one of the more unique takes I've had from a big, huge double IPA or triple IPA, and it might be one of the best triple IPAs I've ever had, especially considering it's a core 4 beer. You know what I mean? There's nothing else in here. There's no lactose. There's no adjunct. It's just straight up science, because that's what they do. And that in of itself kind of makes my nipples a little bit hard, because seeing these kind of developed unique flavors come from stuff that it typically is just a very kind of, I don't want to say simple process, but just basically making a beer from beer components. I kind of dig it. So let's talk about it. Is it one of the better triple IPAs I've had as of late? Yes, absolutely, without a doubt. Value availability, $22. Kind of poopy, but triple IPA market value. That's what people pay nowadays. Brewery only-ish. I know you can find cans of their stuff every now and then outside of the brewery, and draft is definitely a thing. And leave you with, if you like what we like this, if you like the guys that make the triple IPAs well, the other halves of the world, those guys that do it relatively well, this is going to be right up your alley. If you like interesting, if you like hops, if you like haze, and if you like interesting flavors, if you like cool takes, this is probably actually like a juice head, a haze boy, a hop thoughts dream, because you're essentially dropping on a little bitterness and getting sweetness. While I wouldn't necessarily call it a juicy beer in the traditional sense, because of the way that green plays, I think the juice heads would absolutely love this thing. So there you go. Another review in a box down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. I do podcasts. I talk to people, like the guys from Equilibrium. Sat down with Will and Pete and Ricardo, and we all sat around and shot the shit. It was pretty awesome. It was about a year ago. You should go check it out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying this right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.